Hello, welcome back. We found a long way. So just to recap, we have like a tiny model with stories and users. We've explained how identifiable works. We created a nice profile view. We created a background view with a C stack and some linear gradients, which are pretty cool. We created a car view and we introduced stacks and A stacks, spacers, etc. And we created the stories view where we introduced the for each new method, H tags, scroll views, custom paddings, so lots of topics. So now let's work on this main feed view. So for the feed view, we'll need to create a new struct. It's gonna be a feed, and our feed will need a couple of properties. So the first is going to be an image name because we all post pictures of cats. So let's add an image name. Let's add some text because we almost usually write text. And of course, someone has to have published this feed. So let's add a user and let's put a user. So as you might know by now, we need feed to be either hashable or identifiable. So if we make it identifiable, we need some UUID. So let's just do this for now, but you know how the rolls. So let's add new properties on our homepage model, which is going to be feeds, and it's going to be an array of feed. And just like before, we'll construct it with this. So we need user. I can just copy paste this. I need to return an array of feed, which is going to take. We need to pass in the UID. So in Swift 5, they added the possibility of if you already have like a default property for one of the properties, then you don't need to pass it. So it kind of creates all the constructors with all the combinations of properties, which is pretty cool. In the past, even if you had everything with default values, if you added one, then you had to pass in everything. So it's a nice thing. So let's use feed one. I have some text here. I'll just paste it from somewhere else. If you want to copy it by hand, just make sure you press pause on this video and just copy it. So just that. So let's go and create a new, which is going to be called a feed view. So once again, Command N, next, and feed view. So our feed view, as usual, is going to have a model, which is going to be a feed. And we need to pass in the model for the preview, which is going to be homepage model dot feeds, and let's just call the first one. So when we create this, we'll need to display the nice picture which is created, which is going to be an image of the feed dot image name. So I've done something wrong on purpose now, which is that I created my model, where I'm referencing some images, but I didn't add any images to the project. So you'll see that in here we can see cannot preview this file, Facebook app may have crashed. If you press the I, it doesn't really say anything. If you say diagnostics, it doesn't really say anything. So maybe they'll improve this messaging in the future. But for now, what I found is that one of the most common errors is trying to access like some resource that is not there. So always check your names, and if the names don't match, it might be failing. So I have some feeds that I'll just add here. But yeah, I have stumbled upon the wall many times by now, and it's been my most often error. So now that we have the pictures, if we just press resume, hopefully it will work and it will put the image as the background. So always check your names. So we want the image. So something that we have done already a couple of times is to make it resizable. make it aspect ratio content mode.fit, so it looks like one of the pictures I want. But we want to add a few more things. So for example, we want to add some text. So let's, just for a sake, let's look for text, and let's just add it here on top. So it's already placed inside a VStack. So for it to look like what we want, we just want to press alignment dot leading, so the text is on the left. Not really nice. Let's just add like a nice padding, once again with some leading and trailing. So now the text is there. It looks roughly like what we want. And let's just add the correct text from the model, which is going to be feed.text. So now we have that picture with that text. By the way, I found this picture online. If you know where it is, just let me know. I don't think it's Venice, but meh. Okay, so we want to include something else inside our VStack, which is going to be one of our amazing profile views that we created in the past. So the profile view needs an image. It's going to be feed.user.imageName. So you'll see how it automatically created this. So this profile probably needs a padding. So let's just add as normal padding. And now comes the interesting part. So we've put everything inside a VStack, so our profile picture, the text, and the main picture for the feed. But we want a profile picture to have things on the right, so right here. So the way we construct things in SwiftUI, we just keep embedding things inside stacks. So for example, right now we have this profile picture. Let's just add this to the whole H stack. And we want to add, for example, some text saying who shared this. So for example, we can have text. It's going to be feed.user.username. And we'll see that it sits right there at the right. So if we want to change, for example, the spacing of the H stack, so if we feel that this space is not enough, we can come here and change the spacing to something more suitable. So you'll see it gets a bit more air. So something that was included in iOS 13 that it didn't get much notice are all the new San Francisco icons. So that means that right now we have all new fancy images. There's an app in beta which is called San Francisco something, and you can look there for things that like what you need. So I found one that I think it's pretty interesting for this, which is called ellipsis, which is the three nice dots. Let's make it gray, which is going to look a bit like Facebook. So we have this view. It's not exactly like we were trying to build, but we're getting there. So let's say we want to add some space here. By now you might know, yes, let's add a spacer. So that would send the ellipsis to the right. We can keep constructing like what we did. So let's say the text, we want to add a new text, so we can embed in a VStack, and we can say, for example, text. Let's hardcode this, published yesterday. And it just appears down there. We want this VStack to have some alignment.leading, because that's the design we're trying to achieve. And we can change text. So font.caption. And we can change color. .gray. So you see how you construct things with all these VStack and H stacks. So it kind of looks like what we're expecting. One last thing that I want to highlight is that this text, you can change the font of the whole text. There's no such thing yet as an NS attributed string. So for now, I found that the best way to do things like that is to just, for example, specify the font and just split the text. So this is not, of course, like maintainable, but right now it kind of works. So let's embed this in not a beach tag, an h tag, and I want to add something like, for example, text shared a text post. So if I change this once again to font.headline, it kind of looks like we were trying to achieve, except that this h tag has too much spacing. So after try and error, I found that a spacing of around 4 is roughly what we need. So just like that, we have something very similar to what we're trying to achieve. One final note, so this of course is not clickable. Even if we press play, this is just an image, so it does nothing. So if you wanted to create an image from a button from this image, you can just, it's quite simple. It says create a button, which won't have anything right now. You just put the image as the text. So just like that, now this is a button. You can see it's quite, and I'm going to regret this in the future, but you can see that it becomes white. So just like that, I embedded the image within a button. So I hope once again this was useful. Let me know any comments, share, like, etc. Subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.